Josh Brigette here with JTV Sports at Chelsea State Bank Media Day here with head coach of the Northwest Mounties, Stafford Newsome. Coach, going into your third season, 2 5-4 seasons, historic for Northwest as you're pursuing a third winning season, which hasn't been done in a real long time. Can you talk about the work that your team has done to get you to this point?
Absolutely. So our kids have shown up this summer. They want to be there. They're a tight group. They know the last few years have been pretty decent for us, but they also know they want to build on that. So our senior class, we always tell them, like, you were part of that 5-4 team, but it wasn't your team. Like, what are you going to leave as your legacy with your team your senior year? And nobody, and I'll speak for myself because I was in high school, my junior year had a better record than my senior year. Everybody wants their senior year to have that better record. And our guys have bought into that, and they want to continue to win and put together 3 winning seasons for the first time in school history since 1976. And, you know, I'd have to do the math, but I think we have a kid on our team right now that has the opportunity to be the winningest Mountie of all time in the football program. And I'd have to look back at the record, so don't quote me on that. But if not, he's pretty close. So.
I love it. And you got some experience coming back on the offensive side. Your quarterback comes back, offensive line, you return a number of players. Can you just talk about what you're expecting from your offense this year?
Absolutely. So we run the ball. We want to run it. We want to put people in a phone booth and have our way with them, so to speak. And Gabe Christner coming back at quarterback. He was our sophomore quarterback last year, was the leader of the team. Since taking over, he's our first non-senior to be voted as captain by his peers. He was named that last night by his teammates, and it's no surprise to any of us. He is the guy that gets them going. He's the one that holds them accountable. He is calm in the huddle, and he has a mind for the game. And that's where, you know, we have a kid that plays multiple sports. He's able to carry that over from sport to sport, that calmness and the understanding and how to be a good guy and a good coach for his teammates too. Offensive line-wise, I think we have maybe the best 5 we're putting up front since this coaching staff has taken over. And those 5 up front are a tight group. They talk to each other. They hang out with each other. So they know each other's strengths and weaknesses, so they can help each other more than 5 individuals would up front. And then our tight ends, they know they're like the younger brother, little brother to the tackle. We're going to throw it to them about 6 times a year. And that's probably 6 times too many if you ask me, but they're bought into doing their thing too. They block down, they kick out, they leave the dummy alone, they go second level, and they know all the terminology that our linemen do. So that's exactly what we want, and those tight ends are a part of that front 5.
Coach, I think we've made tremendous strides on the offensive side of the ball, but what's really kind of changed your program has been the work you've done on the defensive side. Can you talk about the work your team has put in and kind of your expectations for defense this year?
So defensively, we have a lot of guys. Our front 7 are going to be really good tacklers. We'll be young in the secondary or lack of experience, but we just got out of our camp. Those guys have bought in. They're very coachable. We're actually very impressed with what we have back there. I think holding the ball obviously helps our defense. Instead of going 3 and out and defense is right back out there, if we can hold the ball and eat up some clock, it helps them. But Coach Greer does a fantastic job every week on game planning for the defense, and having a guy like that, a football-minded guru with him and Coach Hiram and Coach McEldowney and Coach Edward on the defensive side and the secondary, those guys, they know what they're looking at. And it's just a huge plus. And this year, Coach Rohde from Springport has came over with us, and he's helping tremendously, a great mind for the game and a leader of men as well. So we want those for our guys, but if you can lead men, you can help produce young men and mold young men the way we want, and also help with the game of football. I don't think you're going to have too many great minds on one side of the ball. Like, we want more and more of that, and I think it's a testament of what our assistant coaches do for our kids and their preparation for the game of football.
Coach, as you pursue a third straight winning season and a playoff spot, you didn't do yourselves any favor with that schedule of yours. You got the I-8, which is always going to be tough for you. You're going to kick it off with a good team right away into Tecumseh, then Adrian Madison. Later in the year, you're going to face Berkeley in a non-conference. Can you just talk about how you get your team prepped and ready to go for Tecumseh week 1?
So everything we do right now is to face the orange and black of Tecumseh. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. We don't look at week 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and so on. We worry about week 1. And the good thing is, when we are preparing for Tecumseh, they go a lot of 2x2 or doubles, as we would call it, and 3x1, or we would call it trips. So our offense gets a lot of first-team reps when we're facing our defense, and our backup guys are getting a lot of reps in our offense when we go spread. Again, they know we don't want to do that, but we have to be able to. And Tecumseh is really good. They have a really good couple seasons going on over there. I think their coach does a great job getting guys prepared, and I think he does a better job of molding young men. When you look at what they're talking about, what they're doing, the handbooks they're handing out to their kids, that's what we want from all of our coaches. And I know we want to beat them, but if all the football coaches are trying to mold young men like that, it's hard to not like them.
Coach, let's step away from the football field just to get into your personal life a little bit. Tell us about this summer, outside of football, what was the most memorable thing you had?
Football-wise?
Outside of football.
Well, we went the Yogi Bear with our family. So my wife and I, we have 5 kids. Our oldest is 9. We have a 7-year-old. Our sweet, prettiest little girl in the world ever is 5, and we have 2-year-old twin boys. So going and staying in a cabin with all of us is it's a chore, but it is eventful and it is fun. And our kids know, our football guys know, like all of our coaches are football-oriented, family-oriented. So we try to treat football like we would our family.
I'm taking the family to Yogi, so I love that.
Yeah,
That's great. So head coach Stafford Newsome with the Northwest Mounties. Coach, best of luck this year. Thank you.
Appreciate you. Thank you.